Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Go check out my website at skyazrael.com. Just wanted to make a quick video, give people an update who matter to me on this channel. Got some good homeboys on here so far. We got a storm coming. I don't know if you guys pay attention to the news. It's all over the news. We got a storm coming. I'm in Florida, Central Florida. You go look at the map. It is coming right for me, right at us. It's going to be a big storm when it hits the west coast, Tampa. It may be devastating for the west coast of Florida. I don't know where it's going to break land at, but somewhere below Tampa, around the Tampa area, and it's going to destroy that shit. So anybody on my channel that's from that area, you may want to come inland, evacuate inland, go into Ocala or some shit like that. Go find yourself a motel somewhere. Go up to North Georgia. Go up to the Panhandle over towards the Louisiana side. It's going to shoot across the state towards Orlando, and then after it goes and devastates Orlando, it's going to start cutting north just slightly. Basically, it's going across the I-4 corridor. Fucking I-4. Anybody from Central Florida hates the I-4. It's such a terrible road. Let's hope it destroys I-4. Fuck I-4. The eye of the storm isn't coming directly at me, but we will get the outer bands. We're right in line for this thing. If you look at the map, we're right in the middle of that cone. I've been through many hurricanes before. This is not my first rodeo. I want to talk today about weathering the storm. It's all about preparation. When you've done everything that you can do towards strengthening yourself, there's nothing more that you can really worry about when it comes to the storm. Now, that doesn't mean the storm isn't going to hurt. It doesn't mean the storm isn't going to fuck shit up. The storm may fuck shit up. But I've done everything that I can. 6 months ago, I spent $3,000, maybe more than $3,000, $3,500, $3,800 with a tree company to come by, and they pruned, trimmed, cut down 10 trees, maybe 15 trees on the property. Just as a preventative measure for when a future storm hits. And there was none coming. It wasn't like, oh, we got to get this done before the storm hits next month or next week. I just felt like, well, if a storm hits, there's a potential weakness. Some of those trees are old, some of those limbs are bad, they're definitely going to fall. I had a couple whole trees that were just leaning really bad that, unfortunately, I hate cutting trees down. Unfortunately, a couple of them had to go. The squirrels were pissed at me. But that was all in preparation for a potentiality, a potential disaster, just in case. Well, we're having a storm come today. It'll be here through Friday. And I'm certainly glad I had those big limbs, those big trees, those widowmakers cut away from the house. Some of those big trees would have fucked my house up a couple years ago. I got a new roof. I did it through insurance. But even when you do a new roof through insurance, your homeowner's insurance, it costs you something. And it cost me more than I wanted it to cost. I forget the exact number, but I spit out a couple grand. The roof probably cost 15 grand, 16, 17 grand to replace the roof. But I spit out a few grand up front to get the whole project started. You know how insurance works. That did not feel good. That hurt. And that was at a slow point in my business. But it was a weak point. I recognized the weak point that I had been ignoring for years. The roof was leaking. I had been up in that attic so many times trying to fix the shit and put buckets in there, whatever. Finally just had to be replaced. Well, I'm certainly glad I did now because the storm's coming. So with our lives, it's important to take these proactive, preventative measures to stay up on our mind, body, and soul program, to stay up on our maintenance. Stay up on your health. to prevent yourself from going to the doctor in the future, just like you change your oil so your car doesn't break down. You do maintenance on your vehicle so your car can last longer. Do necessary maintenance on yourself so you can last longer. But go beyond that. I don't just try to simply eat a little bit well and go for a walk every once in a while. I actively engage in strength training and put my body through stress every day, through failure. I work out to failure on many workouts, so I go through a process of physical and exhausted failure every day with one purpose in mind, of trying to strengthen myself so that I'm strong enough to protect when the case comes, to be able to carry water or chop wood when that needs to be done, to twist one of your little fucking heads off when you run your mouth when that needs to be done. I take preventative measures. I take proactive measures. I'm always staying on top of my program, my mind, body, and soul program. Every single person that I coach or mentor goes on a program. And we do this for the storm, in preparation for the storm. Bad shit's gonna happen to you. It's coming. Society may collapse. Civil war may happen. You may, in 2 years from now, if inflation keeps going, you may not be able to afford anything. You may be pushed downward in your class bracket. You may be forced to go from middle class to poor, from poor to homeless. You don't know what's going to happen, but can you handle it? And the only way that you can say, yes, I can handle it. I can handle anything that comes my way. And that's a mantra that I tell myself. The only way that you can get through that is to stay on top of your P's and Q's. And that way you know, when you go into anything, when you're going into any scenario, I don't care if it's a meeting that you've been having a little bit of anxiety about, maybe at work, or starting a new project. When you do anything, start any journey, any adventure, as long as you have packed your bags right, prepared right, that's all you can do. You know that you've done your part. And I figured for myself, hey, look, I may fail. I may be a failure. But I would have done my part. The failure won't be my fault, because I would have done my part. I did everything he could. Why did that motherfucker fail? Well, I don't know, but he did everything he could. I know, because I watched him. That motherfucker trained hard. He was a righteous, good person, and he did everything he needed to do every day, every second, all the time. Shit still happens. Those dark clouds are still going to come, and not everybody makes it. But you have a better chance of surviving the storm when you've done your part. Are you doing your part today, right now? It's all food for thought. Thanks for watching.